Hey guys, I'm Noah Waldman. I am a games writer for TechPounce.com, and today, as I'm sure most of you know, was the kind of the first day of E3 2012. Technically, it begins on the 5th, which it actually is today. I'm recording this at 12:30 in the morning because it's the only time I could. I was busy most of the day, so I had to catch up starting at like 10 on all the E3 stuff I missed today. So, done with all that, and here I am, gonna just bring you all my impressions of what I saw, or what I read, and saw about E3 today, because that's kind of what I do for the blog. Um, this is all news you could probably already find yourself on, Joystick, Kotaku, Destructoid, all those places, and that's kind of where I'm getting my info from too. But if you want to just hear my take on it all, which I kind of hope you do, please stay tuned. So anyway, just going through my list of stuff here, which is another site's list of stuff here. Um, Star Wars, I don't really care. Wonder Book, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of advertised as this new way to read, but it seems incredibly gimmicky, and I would rather just read a book. Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation. Uh, I don't really have a Vita, honestly, but I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series, and what they're doing with this one, I mean, it looks really, really good, honestly, and I do appreciate how the protagonist is not just another white guy, it's a black girl, and I can appreciate that. I mean, I think that's really cool, and I mean, the game looks good. The game looks good, I'm not gonna lie, but because I don't have a Vita, I'm not really invested in this one so much. Beyond Two Souls, uh, honestly, I kind of hate David Cage, or whatever his fucking name is. He seems like a pretentious asshole who kind of thinks he's an artist, but doesn't really get how mediums work. So I don't like him. I don't give a damn about this game either. PlayStation All Stars PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. Um, Sony Smash Brothers, basically. I mean, it looks good. It looks really, really good. But, I mean, to be completely honest, I care more about the Nintendo roster. Like, just Nintendo Smash Brothers. I care more about Mario than I do about Sly Cooper, more about Link than I do about Big Daddy. And, I mean, it looks like a really good game, but I'm not really, I don't really care about the characters that much, so I don't care, about who can beat who, as much as I would care about, can Samus beat Link or something. And I think that's a big part of like a crossover fighting game, is that you want to know who would beat who. Like, oh, who would win, Spider-Man or Batman? But, with these characters, I don't really care who would win in a battle. So, Watch Dogs. This was actually a big surprise, I think, for everyone. It kind of came out of nowhere, and Ubisoft just kind of blew everything out of the water with it that we've seen so far. Um, if you don't know what it is, like Google it or something, go on Game Trailers or any of those other sites I mentioned before. Definitely watch the trailer, watch the demo. It's just really is one of the best things I've seen so far. A really interesting idea for a game where um, it's like Grand Theft Auto meets Anonymous or something, where you have this big open world Chicago, and to fill objectives, it's kind of still, kind of nebulous as to what the whole plot of the game is. But you're this dude who has to infiltrate and kill people, and to do that, he hacks into just the grid, the networks, the traffic lights, cell phone towers, just all that sort of cool stuff, and he changes how they work. Like he could just stop traffic lights or bring down connections and stuff in order to sneak his way into these places and get to the people that he has to get to. And it also has a lot of gunplay. But I think that the big selling point is the hacking, is how you can change the environment through the networks. And I really can't wait to see how far they take it or where they take it to, because I think it's a really, really cool idea. and what they showed in the demo is really, really just kind of inspiring. Assassin's Creed 3. As I said, I'm a huge fan of the Assassin's Creed series, and I really think that this third game, well, not third, it's what, the fifth? Assassin's Creed 3, though, is what they really need to kind of, bring a lot of fresh meat, new blood into the series. New meat, fresh blood. Anyway, they're taking it all the way to the American Revolution, so we have a big change of setting, a big change of character with Connor, who seems to be just fucking amazing. From what they showed in the trailer with the just like one-man army type thing, bow and arrow, hatchet, sword, twin, wrist daggers or whatever, just killing all those guys and so fluid. And that's another thing. That's one thing I like about the Assassin's Creed. Like all the combat doesn't really seem any and stinted. It's all very fluid, all very nice. And I mean, as an American, I can really kind of since elementary school or primary school or whatever you want to call it, we've kind of been indoctrinated something with the whole idea of this glorious American Revolution, and I mean I'm really excited to play through it. Also, I do like how in one of the trailers, I forget which one, they had an eagle flying through the whole thing, and a lot of people would say, "Oh, that's not really accurate. Eagles don't live in New York or Boston." And what's really funny is that during the Revolution, little history fact, little history lesson for you guys. During the American Revolution, around that time, New York, the Northeast, was incredibly populated by eagles, bald eagles too. Like eagles were just, and then of course as urbanization came, all the eagles left or died or whatever happened to eagles. So I really like how they included that detail of eagles being Anyway, that's just me nerding out, more so than the rest of this video. The Avengers, Battle for Earth. I'm a big comics book fan, though I'm going to admit I'm more DC than I am Marvel. But I do like, I kind of like where this game is going. Kind of reminds me of like Marvel Ultimate Alliance type thing. I mean, they didn't really show any gameplay, but I do like how they have, the Avengers that were in the movie. That's really popular right now, and I recommend going see. But I also like how they include some of the X-Men. They have Wolverine, they have Storm, they have Magneto. I like Spider-Man. He's probably one of my favorite superheroes. Spider-Man, like the only Marvel character I actually keep up with. So I'm excited for all that, I guess. I mean, Marvel, I guess, has a pretty good history with licensed games. If you look at the Spider-Man movie games, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, as I said, Captain America was a pretty good game. So, I mean, I really hope this is good. But then, of course, you had, like, X-Men's Legends, or whatever that one was. It was terrible. But, I'm hoping for the best. What else we got here? What else we got? Watch Dogs again. Definitely, watch that. Okay, Ubisoft's Wii U games. Avengers. Rabbids Land, I don't really care about the Rabbids. Rayman Legends. Rayman Legends, though, I mean, this is definitely one of my top games of E3 so far. The first, Rayman Origins, admittedly didn't actually play, but it looks really good, and I hear incredibly good things about it. It's one of the, apparently one of the best 2D platformers since, like, the SNES era. And just the what I've seen of Rayman Legends so far really looks to be taking what they did with the Origins and just like multiplying it by a billion and making it so much more fun and so much more colorful and active and weird and just fun, and wacky and like, stuff like you would have on the SNES. And I mean, I can't wait for that. ZombiU, first zombie game. We haven't gotten any footage of it yet, but first zombie game for the Wii U. I mean, I guess I still like zombies. Like I'm all for Dead Rising and all that, and I'm glad that Ubisoft is supporting the Wii U. But I mean, I think it's really gonna have to pull something really amazing, like some sort of gimmick or something to really capture a lot of interest with the new zombie game, even though it is for a new console with all the stuff that the Wii U does have. And I do kind of wonder if it's the game that was used in the Nintendo conference. It's 2 days ago now, with nondescript action figure and that one guy when they were demoing all the online stuff. If so, I mean, I guess it kind of looks generic, but I mean, it's zombies, so there's always that risk. What else we got? What else we got? Crysis 3. Um, I mean, I'm not really a big shooter fan, I'll admit that, but this one looks interesting. I always thought the Crysis series did look interesting because it was always kind of more colorful than a bunch of other shooters on the market. This one, taking the old decrepit New York, kind of retaken by nature, but there's also, civilization still moving in there. So I do like that mix of, like, you have the dam, and then decrepit New York, and the whole thing around it is forest. And I mean, it looks like you have some pretty cool powers and visibility and all that, which you kind of had in the first games. Um, Crossbows, or not crossbows, just bow and arrows seem to be really big this year, and then it's in a lot of games, which is kind of, I mean, it's cool. I guess I like just in terms of, I don't know, aesthetic or whatever. I do prefer bows and arrows over guns, but I mean, it's a detail. I just noticed lots of bows and arrows. Far Cry 3 looks fucking just insane. Um, like just everything they showed, it kind of looks like the villain is the Joker, but you're not Batman, and that's where the whole thing in the game is. It's someone who isn't Batman facing the Joker, and everything's going crazy, and you're going crazy, and the guy's crazy, and the island's probably crazy, and everyone else around you. I mean, it looks really crazy, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, just mentally crazy, not like crazy like, oh, whoa, awesome, but, I mean, it looks like that, too. But crazy as in, like, just mentally insane and off-kilter and, you know, toys in the attic or whatever. Splinter Cell Blacklist. Splinter Cell is kind of a game, like, it's series I haven't gotten into, but I've always kind of admired from afar, I guess. It's kind of like how Far Cry is the Joker without Batman. Splinter Cell has always struck me as the type of game that would be like Batman, but with a gun and a team and whatever. So, and that came across really well in the Blacklist trailer. So, I mean, I'm interested. It's another game that I'd like watch from afar, just because I do like the whole stealth thing. But I don't know, yeah, we only got a trailer. Um, so that Warface, online MMO, FPS, don't really care. Battlefield, brown shooter, don't really care. Dust 514, MMO, PlayStation. Yeah, I mean, I think it has a crossover with Eve, but I'm not really invested in either of those games right now. What else? Medal of Honor Warfighter, don't care. Just another, army shooter, brown gray, whatever. Need for Speed Most Wanted. I do actually really like racing games, but I mean, the last Need for Speed game I picked up was for the GameCube. Like, I like racing games, but I don't really feel a need to compulsively buy them because, like, the last racing game I bought and my favorite to this day, just to give you an insight of like how I like racing games, is Outrun Arcade for XBLA, and I mean, it's a really good game in my opinion, and I do like racers, I do like driving in games, but this didn't really, give anything. It doesn't seem like they're putting a new twist on anything other than a whole bunch of cops, and I mean, I do like that cop chasing dynamic of the Need for Speed games, but I mean, it's not like a platformer or something where you can have the same characters with the same abilities because you can change up the levels all the time, and the levels really make the game. With the racing game, I mean, you drive one car in a racing game, they all feel a bit different, but it's always the same kind of thing. So unless, like with something like Mario Kart, that changes every, 3 or whatever how many years they update Mario Kart, you always have like new weapons. The tracks are really part of the game instead of just something you drive on. The tracks are really, have a lot of personality and stuff. With something like Split Second or Blur. Blur was another like kart racer type weapon thing. But something with Split Second where the tracks are constantly changing, and there's all that visual stuff. I don't really see the appeal in just a new racing game. It's the same reason I really can't get into Forza or like Gran Torino, because if I'm gonna drive in a video game, I want to drive somewhere, do this something really interesting and captivating. And aside from the cop chases, I don't really see that in Need for Speed. SimCity, um, I do enjoy SimCity, as a game, but and I think what they're doing now, they're really updating it, the pollution thing and all that really cool stuff. But did I just call pollution cool? Didn't mean it. But again, it's like a simulation game. I don't think there's anything really. It's nothing too out there. It's simulating reality. So, and the more you do that, like the better it gets at simulating reality. There's kind of this weird divide because then like just the closer reality gets, like you don't have that escapism anymore. um, SimCity, Dead Space, another series that I haven't really gotten invested in, but I mean it looks really good from the trailer. It looks like they're kind of pulling out the stops, but this third game in a series. Last time EA had that, the ending was pretty crap, I hear. So, I mean it looks good, but again I'm not really invested. I don't feel like my opinion is really worth a lot in terms of Dead Space. Madden, sports, don't care. Yeah, I don't care about sports. XCOM. XCOM looks, I don't know how to say it. It looks really silly, I guess, because it's this kind of really played straight alien invasion type thing. And it's the type of movie, the type of thing I really enjoy. But I mean, it kind of looks really silly just because it does play it so straight. And it looks really cool, even though I'm not really sure what type of game it is. Some of it kind of looks like it'd be a shooter. Other parts looks like it could be like a real-time strategy type thing with building resources. It's probably a combination of both. Anyway, I'm going to keep my eye on it because it looks really cool, and I really like the direction it's taking, the little alien invasion thing. Devil May Cry. DMC, Devil May Cry, whatever they're calling it. Looks kind of badass, and I'm not sure if I'm more excited for like DMC or Metal Gear Revengeance, because they both look really similar in terms of gameplay. But I guess what DMC is doing, I don't know if I like this Dante, because he seems just kind of like a douchebag, and I know he's kind of supposed to, but yeah. Uh huh. Okay. So yeah, he looks, I mean, he seems like a douchebag, and I guess that could work, but I don't know. It seems a bit too abrasive. The gameplay looks really cool though. Action-packed, really fast-paced, sword, chain, all that cool stuff. I do like the art direction. It looks very colorful. You have the whole twisty corridor demon thing, and stories looks like it's gonna be packed. Stepping it up a bit with the demons. Then you have the organization fighting the demons. You have Dante somewhere in between. So, I mean, I'm excited for it. Want to pick it up. Lost Planet 3 looks... Lost Planet 3. I mean, from... I think it looks good, but I'm not quite sure the direction they're taking it. It kind of, like when watching the trailer, the only thing I thought of was aliens. Because you have the guy, foreign planet, trapped on his own, big suit of armor. So, I mean, it looks fun, I guess. I enjoyed a little bit of what I played of Lost Planet 2, and I kind of hope they keep the whole grappling hook mechanic that they had in that, because I thought that was really interesting. And I do like just the size of the monsters. I do like the scale they're going for. Resident Evil 6, I mean, it looks like a Resident Evil game. Like, a post-Resident Evil 4 Resident Evil game. And they've been good, but not much to say really yet about it from my point of view. Loco Cycle, I do like Twisted Pixel. I do like their games, their stuff, but this was only a teaser, not much to comment about. Motorcycles are cool though, I can totally dig that. Matter, again, not much to go on. It's made for Kinect though. I have no plans of getting a Kinect, so I'm not really looking forward to, oh my god, I can't wait to play this on the Kinect. But I guess it looks like it could be cool, kind of artsy or whatever. What else? South Park the game. Huge fan of South Park. I am a huge fan of South Park, and like this this is kind of I kind of divided on it because at one point I'm really excited just for the writing and the setting and the story and the plot and all that, the characterization, because I am such a huge fan of the South Park universe and I really want to see where Matt and Trey take it in in this game. At the same time, I'm worried about the gameplay because they haven't really shown much of it yet, and I don't know if it's like if there's anything gameplay wise that would really draw me in. Because I'm planning to buy a game when I buy South Park: The Stick of Truth, and if it's just like a a 20-hour long episode, I'm not really gonna feel like I spent my money wisely. I want some good gameplay to complement the great atmosphere and writing and all that of what South Park is. Ascend New Gods kind of looks like Microsoft's answer to God of War. Um, the combat, just everything they showed, I don't know if it's in slow motion or if it's just really that slow, but it looks like just kind of slogging and sluggish and slow, and I kind of hope it gets a bit sped up because otherwise the whole game is going to move at a really slow pace with the heavy weapons. What else? Forza, I already kind of went on my racing game shtick. But this looks a bit more arcadey than Need for Speed, I guess. I don't know. Like, because Need for Speed looks kind of arcadey with the whole cop chase, moving really fast thing. Forza has its own kind of style. But I already, kind of went into about racing games. Fable the Journey, don't really care about Connect. Ni no Kuni. Again, this is kind of like the South Park thing, because I really like Studio Ghibli's work. But again, I'm not really following this game that tightly, so I'm not really sure about the gameplay. I hope it's really good though, because I do like Studio Ghibli's work. Gears of War Judgment looks like Gears of War, I guess. Not much to say about that past, it's Gears of War. If you like that, you'll probably like Judgment. Legend, Legacy of the Dragons. Hard to say, because again, they didn't really reveal much with the trailer. I'm not sure whether it's some sort of card game, honestly, from what they showed in the trailer. It looks like it could be some sort of card game, or it's just some sort of RPG. But not much to say on it, again, other than, hey, it exists. What else we got? What else? And more sports and stuff. So, moving on to my next site where I know stuff from. God of War. New God of War announced. Well, it was announced before, but new God of War footage shown where we see Kratos fighting an Elephant Man, who I really hope, for Sony's sake, is not Ganesh, because that would probably cause a shitstorm. In case any of you don't know, Ganesh is a, man, I don't really want to mess this up, Indian, Middle Eastern, one of those places deity, who people, unlike the Greek pantheon, people actually still believe in Ganesh. So if the Elephant Man really is him, I mean, that, I kind of, I don't want to see what happens, but at the same time, it's going to be an exciting shitstorm if there is one. Last of Us looks really, really good, and it's one game that kind of makes me wish I had a PS3. It's just beautiful, I guess, is a way to describe it. I mean, man, I guess you really have to watch the footage for yourself, but it like Watch Dogs, like Rayman, it's one of those games that I'm just gonna, I really want to see be really, really good, and it looks like it's going to be really, really good and really, really different from everything else, and I can't wait to see where it goes. God of War, more stuff to talk about. I got this, don't worry. I have prepared, kinda. Watch, na, 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 da, da, da. Yeah, there has to be something else to talk about. Come on, man. And if not, there has to be. I got this. EA did some stuff I talked about. Did I cover everything? No. No, it couldn't be. Halo 4 is a game. It's about that. Oh, Xbox. Nah, Microsoft also did a lot of stuff with the Xbox not related to games, but because I'm covering video games and none of these things really have anything to do with it, I'd rather not talk about it. I think it's kind of weird how with the Kinect, Microsoft is basically aping everything Nintendo wanted to do with the Wii, but nobody approved of. And now it's like, oh wait, didn't we say this is stupid and everyone else said this was kind of bad? Oh, but let's do it anyway. But you know, it's with the Kinect, so people might like it. And I mean, it really, I can see where Microsoft is coming from by turning the Xbox into a full entertainment system, but at the same time, I really want to see them focus on games. And they seem to be, you know, like, oh no, we do games and all this other stuff, but also games. You know, it's like they're selling it on all this other stuff, but it also plays games. And I think that's the wrong direction when selling a video games console. So, that's about... Oh, Tomb Raider! How did I forget Tomb Raider? Tomb Raider looked really good. I mean, the demo they showed, it looked like it played itself, and I'm nervous about that. Of, you know, if it is just like, you know, a little bit of gameplay with a whole bunch of, you know, really exciting looking things that you hardly play. But but it does look really, really good, and I'm really, really excited for it. I wish I could get my hands on it, really. That's all I could say. It looks like they're taking it into interesting places. The island looks really interesting that it takes place on. All the you have all these different, I don't know if they're different factions, but all these different groups of people. There's a lot of stealth in it. It looks like is you're so under equipped as Lara. You'll have mostly a bow and arrow, guns with maybe 20 bullets in them, so not a lot. So you kind of have to mix the stealth, but you also have to be, it's also mainly this kind of balls-to-the-wall action game where you're being flung from, like, half of a helicopter to a parachute through the forest into a raft into, like, a river. So, and it looks really exciting, and we might actually explore some tombs. There was a hint of that, maybe. If not, Tomb Raider seems like an oddly inappropriate name. Anything else? Anything else? Am I forgetting anything? I don't think I am. I think that's it. I think that's all covered for today. It took about half an hour, but I got through it. I know I rushed through a lot of it, but I mean, the thing about stuff like E3 is that they're all kind of teases, they're all fireworks displays where there's a lot of, ooh, this looks really cool, but you don't get a lot of meat. So everything I'm really commenting on, I'm doing from a perspective of someone watching fireworks. Like, oh, that was really pretty, but I can tell you that it was pretty, and ooh, I like the color blue, and there was a lot of blue in it. But aside from that, we're not really given much meat. We're given a lot of flavor, but not much to chew on. And I like the most I can really say for a bunch of these games that I hope to see more of them. And I hope they turn out really well, especially the ones I mentioned in with more personality, like the ones I'll mention them again. Tomb Raider, really good. Watch Dogs looks amazing. Rayman Origins, really cool. So yeah, that was E3 today. I will be back with more E3 stuff at Nintendo World tomorrow. I'll be at Nintendo World recording the Nintendo E3 conference with a whole bunch of other fans at Nintendo World, and it'll be really cool. I went last year; it was really good, and we'll be seeing more this year. Nintendo already got a lot of boring stuff out of the way yesterday, 2 days ago now. So hopefully they're just gonna focus on game after game after game with the Wii U, and then they're having a 3DS thing on Wednesday. No, yeah, on Wednesday, I think Thursday. I don't know. They're having just a 3DS focused thing another day. So Nintendo's press conference looks like it's just going to be Wii U, Wii U, Wii U, Wii U. Hey, look at all this stuff. Wii U! It looks amazing. So I'm going to be at Nintendo World tomorrow, filming all that. That'll be up, I don't know, but I can't wait for that. E3 is off to a great start already this year. A lot of powerful games, a lot of good games that look really interesting. But as a Nintendo fan, like mainly of the big three, Nintendo, I really can't wait for tomorrow and what the Wii U, what Nintendo's going to bring. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you continue to care about what I think about this E3. And like I said, Nintendo, tomorrow, E3, Wii U. See you then.